I'm trying to get into calmer states prior to sleep and some ways to do that.
While the rest of the world is sleeping, some people remain wide awake due to insomnia. It's the most common sleep-related problem, with about 1/3 of adults experiencing insomnia symptoms at any given time. Up to 10% have insomnia severe enough that it's considered a full-fledged disorder. If you feel it is not easy to fall asleep, don't worry. Our expert gonna give you tip hacks for better sleep. Andrew Huberman is one of the most popular neuroscientists in the world right now. Andrew frequently shares tips to improve sleep. Here are the top 5 proven sleep hacks that he recommends. Why can't I sleep? Some people deal with chronic insomnia. They regularly can't fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake up too early. This type of disrupted sleep lasts a few nights a week or more for at least a few months. Regardless of whether it's a short problem or an ongoing concern, insomnia can leave you feeling awful the next day, tired, cranky, and unable to concentrate. Experts have different definitions of insomnia. However, insomnia is generally characterized by trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, resulting in a lack of sleep that causes distress or difficulty with daily activities. If it happens at least 3 nights a week and lasts for at least 1 month, you may have what sleep experts call persistent insomnia disorder. The condition compromises more than your energy levels, so it's worth recognizing the symptoms and getting help from your healthcare team. Not getting enough high-quality sleep can increase your risk of depression, weight gain and obesity, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and memory and concentration problems. It can even make you look older. Number 5. Circadian rhythm. You can reset your sleep schedule and circadian rhythms through lifestyle changes because environmental factors impact these rhythms. Circadian rhythms are primarily influenced by the eyes being exposed to light and darkness, but they can also be affected by exercise, eating, and other factors. As you begin to adjust your schedule, start slow. Instead of changing your sleep and wake times by several hours at once, adjust by an hour or less each day until you reach your desired schedule. Once you're going to sleep and waking up at the times you'd like, stay consistent every day, even on weekends and days off work. Number 4. Balance cortisol and melatonin. Cortisol and melatonin rhythms occur naturally within us all the time. Even without any external input, if we were in complete darkness, living in a cave with no artificial light, these rhythms would still continue. Cortisol is a hormone often referred to as the stress hormone. In a healthy individual, cortisol levels increase in the morning and decrease at night. This helps to regulate your natural sleep-wake cycle. However, if cortisol levels remain elevated during the evening, it can interfere with your ability to get a good night's sleep. High cortisol levels can make you feel alert and awake, preventing you from falling asleep. Additionally, high cortisol levels at night can disrupt your natural sleep-wake cycle. This can lead to difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep throughout the night. There are several ways to help reduce cortisol levels before bedtime. Practicing relaxation techniques, such as meditation or yoga, can help lower cortisol levels before sleeping. Melatonin is a hormone that plays an important role in regulating our sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is produced in the pineal gland in our brains and is released when it starts to get dark. This hormone helps signal to our body that it's time to start winding down for the day, making us feel drowsy and ready for sleep. Low melatonin levels can lead to difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. Cortisol and melatonin are 2 hormones that play a major role in regulating sleep. While cortisol is often associated with stress and wakefulness, melatonin is known for its role in promoting restful sleep. Despite being opposites, cortisol and melatonin have an important relationship with each other. The relationship between cortisol and melatonin works like a seesaw. When one is high, the other is low. When it's time to go to sleep, our cortisol levels begin to decline as melatonin increases. This is known as the circadian rhythm and helps us maintain healthy sleep patterns. When this balance is disrupted, it can cause sleep disturbances. In order to ensure that cortisol and melatonin are balanced and that optimal sleep is achieved, it's important to make sure that we're following a healthy lifestyle. This includes avoiding late-night eating, reducing stress, and getting plenty of exposure to natural light during the day. All these activities help regulate cortisol and melatonin levels in our bodies. Timing is also key when trying to balance cortisol and melatonin. Our cortisol levels usually peak in the morning and decline throughout the day, while our melatonin levels increase as the sun goes down. To ensure that our sleep-wake cycle remains regular, it's important to keep to a regular sleep-wake schedule, even on weekends or holidays. This will help to keep our cortisol and melatonin in balance and make it easier for us to get a good night's sleep. Number 3. Get sunlight in the morning. Andrew doesn't hesitate to share his own morning routine. He rises at 6:15 a.m. daily, drinks a big glass of water, and meditates as he waits for the sun to come up. Then, at 7 a.m. sharp, he walks his pets around the block, making sure to leave his sunglasses at home. Every single human, just as soon as possible after waking up, should go outside and get at least 15 minutes of direct natural light, period, says Andrew. Andrew's simple life hack reflects a growing body of scientific evidence linking ample exposure to bright light early in the day to everything from better sleep and clearer thinking to improved mental health and reduced risk of obesity and diabetes. For your information, light is the single most important element for setting our circadian clock, or internal 24-hour rhythm, and morning light is key. Each of us has not only one master clock deep in our brain, but also a series of other clocks inside our tissues that manage when hormones are released, keeping our sleep-wake cycle, hunger patterns, and other daily rhythms humming along on a predictable cycle. If you lived in a cave with no light at all, the hands on the master clock would still click away, but at about a 24.2-hour cycle, slightly out of sync with the clock society operates on. Each day, you drift further out of sync. It's easy to stay inside all day. Most of us work, eat, exercise, and relax indoors. However, taking the time to go outside and view sunlight soon after waking can have a variety of positive outcomes. You've probably heard about circadian rhythm, the internal clock that guides your body throughout the day and night as it responds to light and dark. Sunlight in the morning can help regulate your circadian rhythm by affecting various hormones for an array of benefits. Sunlight boosts cortisol to help you feel more alert. You may think of increased cortisol as a negative, i.e., chronic cortisol, or when your body is in a constant state of stress. But cortisol is not just a stress hormone, it's the awake hormone. Cortisol is supposed to increase in the morning and naturally decline throughout the day as part of the circadian rhythm so the body knows when to stay awake and when to sleep. We recommend you commit to trying the morning sunlight routine for a month. Within the first week, you had more energy during the day, especially earlier in the day, than you used to. You were also able to focus on work for longer. An unexpected plus was that you were actually tired when it was time for bed, and you fell asleep quickly most nights. To complete the domino effect, sleeping earlier and more soundly prevented you from hitting the snooze button as much. To me, this was a lesson that life-changing wellness does not have to cost a lot of money, feel difficult, or be unenjoyable. Optimizing your health can be as simple, easy, and quick as getting sunlight in the morning. Number 2. Make your nighttime routine a ritual. Not only does a routine help you relax enough to fall asleep, but it also helps combat stress and reduces symptoms of anxiety. Your nighttime routine will help keep you focused on relaxation and sleep. Everyone's routine is going to look different. Maybe yours includes light yoga or an hour of journaling to reflect on your day. Whatever it is, it's important to stick to your nightly routine when you find it. Do it at the same time and in the same order each night. Completing tasks in your nightly routine will signal to your brain that it's time to start winding down for sleep. Another mini tip within this tip: don't lay in bed awake. If you climb into bed and find that you're not falling asleep, don't stay in bed. Instead, get up and do something relaxing, like read a book or take a bubble bath. The last thing you want to do is associate your bed with scrolling through social media or watching TV. Number 1. Maintain healthy habit. At first, do not drink too much. We know this one can be a bit of a bummer, but what you eat and drink can affect your anxiety and how you sleep. Caffeine relates to anxiety and sleep in two ways. First, too much caffeine can exacerbate feelings of anxiety. The second is the obvious one: caffeine keeps you awake. As a rule, you should avoid drinking caffeine for 6 hours before you go to bed. Alcohol can also affect your anxiety symptoms and sleep by throwing off your circadian rhythm. Even if you find it easier to fall asleep after a few cocktails, many people wake up a few hours later when their body metabolizes the alcohol. Avoid drinking alcohol at least 4 hours before you go to sleep. By the way, another tip for you guys: we think of having a coffee to wake up post-nap, but if you only have time for a very short nap, your best bet is actually to drink coffee directly beforehand. It takes about 30 minutes for caffeine to kick in, just in time for when you wake up. Andrew advises us, if you need to feel wide awake directly after having a short nap, drink a cup of coffee or other caffeinated drink just before dozing off. The caffeine will start to work its magic about 25 minutes later, just as you are waking up. Don't forget to get some exercise in before it's too late. Many studies have found a link between exercise and the reduction of insomnia. Aerobic exercise is especially effective at helping people sleep. Aerobic workouts are the kind that stimulate and strengthen the heart and lungs, quickening your heart rate and making you sweat, thus improving the body's utilization of oxygen. There is scientific evidence that the very best time to work out is first thing in the morning, before you've had anything to eat. Try going for a short walk or jog, or getting some yoga in before breakfast. According to sleep hygiene, it's best not to get that exercise in right before bed. Exercise can make you all hot and sweaty, and you need time to cool down before heading to bed, writes Wiseman in Night School. If nighttime is the only time you can get a workout on, opt for a very light option such as Tai Chi or Yin Yoga. Bonus tips. Besides the above top 5, Dr. Andrew also gives us another advice for better sleep. You may try to use a meditation app. Meditation apps are a quick and easy way to help yourself relax and fall asleep. Research shows that meditation can reduce stress and anxiety levels. It also reduces your blood pressure and heart rate. With the best meditation apps, you choose from guided meditations, deep breathing exercises, or calming stories. There are a ton of options out there. Top meditation apps even have guided segments from celebrities like Harry Styles or Idris Elba. Add a weighted blanket to your bed. Weighted blankets are an effective way to help calm anxiety and help you fall asleep, thanks to what's called deep pressure stimulation. A 2020 study found that people who use a weighted blanket have lower rates of insomnia and anxiety. Using a weighted blanket isn't the only thing you should do, but it is an easy way to integrate comfort into your nightly routine. You can choose from the hundreds of options on the market, or even make your own weighted blanket. Acknowledge your anxiety. All the tips in the world won't help you sleep easier with anxiety if you don't acknowledge you're feeling anxious. Whatever you're feeling, stressed, scared, or worried, accept it so you can address it. It's a good idea to try to incorporate stress-relieving activities into your daily routine to help keep things from building up at night. Try a daily walk or other exercises to reduce anxiety. There's no set time frame for when you'll start falling asleep faster. It likely won't be instantaneous. If you find that your anxiety is continually getting the best of your sleep, it may be time to talk to someone. The sleep advice doesn't end here. Also see the 7 natural sleep aids for insomnia, which foods to eat to make you tired, and why you should prioritize your sleep needs. Write down your problems. We all know the feeling of anxiety creeping in to keep us from sleeping. Many a sleepless night results from playing problem scenarios on mental repeat, with no solution in mind. Well, it might actually be a good idea to take the time to do a little 2-part writing exercise before bed. Step 1. Write down a list of your worries and/or perceived problems. Step 2. Write down a possible solution for each problem. A sleep science study published in the Journal of Behavioral Sleep Medicine tested 2 groups, one that wrote down their problems before bed and one that wrote down both their problems and possible solutions. The study found that the constructive worry group, the ones with solution ideas, had decreased pre-sleep cognitive arousal relative to the worry group. And after you fall asleep, worry-free, your dreams might just give you even more answers. Hoping that the above tips from Dr. Andrew gonna help you overcome insomnia. Good sleep can bring us good health.